Hello?
Good evening.
Well, good evening.
How's it going?
Oh, it's been a day.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
How so?
Uh, well, it just pretty busy. And then we sat down to dinner and Kalika called and said she was just rear-ended and
Ooh,
yeah, so we spent the last hour kind of helping her calm down from all that.
oh goodness. Was she injured?
No, she's okay. Just some damage to her car and the guy didn't have a copy of his insurance and
Oh dear.
yeah, but she was able to get a picture of his license registration and um, all that. But
Oh, good. Good.
yeah, it it ended well, well as it could, I suppose. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah, she was
true.
actually on the app Marco Polo when the accident occurred. So she,
I don't know what that is.
oh, we should really get that. You
I've
should.
heard of it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, you basically you just it's like a video message with audio and pretty much just say whatever. It's live and then it records and then you can watch it later or whatever.
Oh,
It's I we've been doing it with the girls for a while. Have it with Ashley and a couple other people, but it's kind of cool.
oh, is that how you send stuff to me sometimes? Is that how you do it? Because
You
I've
don't
never been able to
know.
figure
I
it out.
use I would send you um like actual video,
Mm-hmm.
but the problem with that is between Apple, Samsung, and other devices, the video can be grainy or broken up. But what Marco Polo does is it patches all that. So the audio is
Oh,
pretty much clear all the time.
okay.
But I think,
Very
I don't
nice.
know, I think you should get the app and then it'll ask you to access contacts and then you could just put in my name and then
Yeah.
we could Marco Polo each other because it's really quick and easy. It's a quick and easy way just to say hi. It's just like brief messages.
All right. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as an option. I would like it. I would send you Marco Polos at work because that's pretty much how I communicate with Keelik and Acacia and Ashley.
Okay.
Yeah. So just just an option. But
Have to look into that.
yeah. How was your day?
Yeah. Um, well, the kids stayed home because they were sick in air
Mm,
quotes. I don't know if they really were, but I'm not going to
mm.
call them liars. So, well, I mean James was. But so yeah, we watched Home Alone and hung out. They colored and it was fine. It was good. So yesterday, Kevin, um, a guy at his work's finger got ripped off.
What?
Yes.
The golf
Uh, yeah. He was I don't remember what he was doing, but
the
he
hell of a
had a
swing.
what? No, he wasn't
Not funny.
golfing.
Not funny.
No, he was a maintenance guy and he
Oh,
had something I just didn't expect that when Kevin came home. Like, oh, I was like, did you have a fun day? That's what I always say. And he's like, well, yeah, it was quite dramatic. I mean,
gee.
like, yeah, he had a rope and it was tied to something, got caught under the tire, and his finger, I think he was
Oh,
holding the rope, and then it just got caught and ripped it right off. Just wow. So, if we were looking for a dramatic day, we had one yesterday. I mean,
okay.
that poor guy, I can't even imagine. He must have been in shock because he was walking around not super coherent, but but like walking around dealing with it.
Yeah, having your finger ripped off. I don't know how I would take that.
I
Even even if even with my body going into shock, I'd still be like, I know I'm in shock, but where's my an index finger? It was there a second ago.
well, it was the pinky,
Oh,
so
okay.
it
Well,
wasn't the most important finger,
yeah.
but they were looking for the finger for
Oh,
several hours, and apparently, it wasn't right where it happened. It somehow was hanging on and then fell out of the truck later while he was driving to get help. They did find it, but it was too late to sew it back on. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up.
well,
Well,
because I brought up, something stressful for me, and then you brought up something that was relatable, and yours, of course, just, you know, yeah,
mm, yeah.
all the thunder
Well,
because
most of the time when we say, "How was your day?" it's like, "Fine. It was fine." Now to we had a couple stories, so that was
yeah,
changing it up a little.
a little
Yeah.
change is good. Losing your pinky, not so much, but hey,
Nope.
you know what?
Mm,
My dad always said it's only bad news if it's happening to you.
that is true. That is
Wait, is that the
that
right?
is true.
Only
I
bad.
don't know. I don't
Yes,
know.
yes, yes. Unless that's the key word in context. It's only
Okay.
bad news unless it's happening to you.
Oh, I see.
So it's
I
not
don't
because it's not.
remember him saying that, but I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more than bad news if it is happening to you.
I
Yes.
actually talked to dad. Well, last night.
Oh,
Yeah.
how did that go?
It a little conspiratorial, and then because I got the COVID shot, I'm just the Walking Dead, according to
Right.
dad. So
I know. Yeah.
yeah, there's all that, but and then of course the plane landed with DGN, and then it just kind of fizzled out, and
Uh,
yeah.
did he, I mean, your COVID shot experience has been relatively neutral, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, because I got the Johnson and Johnson, and I didn't get any boosters or anything. I just got the one, and but since I've gotten that shot, I once a year I'll develop allergies. My eyes turn blood red.
Oh,
Yeah, and they just it's like sneezing and watery eyes, and then this year it turned into a respiratory cough, not an infection like bronchitis, but yeah, just good stuff.
just general inflammation.
Yeah, well, he went down the rabbit hole of it kills the good white cells in your body that
Yes,
help
right.
with immunity, and then so it's like you don't have any immune system. And I said, well, I had some allergies and then a cough, but I didn't miss work because I was sick, so I didn't
Right.
get sick.
Well, I mean, he does pretty good research. I know it
He,
can
yeah,
be conspiracy. I mean, some of it is, but like, yeah, he's he's a good researcher. Well, hopefully that just is minimal and doesn't turn into a thing, a
well,
major thing.
so I probably will be for another year.
You're what?
Well, I'm fine now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I will be for another. It's usually around September, October.
Oh,
Weird
well, I
because
mean, I've had allergies develop just from aging. Um,
yeah, I'm in denial
and
of that.
changing climates, like, because I've moved quite a bit in my
Mm.
life. So, but definitely, like, when I turned 30 or so, I noticed all of a sudden I had allergies and I never had before. And I'm not, I don't really, I don't take medications or anything. I don't need
Yeah.
anything. But yeah, just a aging thing for one. And then when I moved to the desert, I mean, everything, there's every season seems to be a blooming season here.
Mm.
So there's something blooming all the time. So, oh, when you came here, did you have any allergies?
No, and here's what's weird is I didn't know if we were gonna make it, um, because of my cough and because of, I mean, it really looked like I had been smoking weed for 2 weeks straight.
What?
That's
Like
how my eyes.
coughing stuff up? Oh, your eyes.
Yeah, and everyone's just staring. And my district manager, we had a safety meeting, and he was present, and he was staring at me, and I'm like, dude, you can drug test me right now. I'm not. I know what it looks like. And he's like, yeah, it looks like you've been baking, but nothing, on the culinary side.
Yeah,
And I said, I'm
right.
good. I'm good. And so it's a little laugh there.
Interesting. Wow, that is a strange
Yeah.
thing.
And then it clears up. Like I went to the optometrist today and got a checkup, and they, looked into my eyes, and they said they're healthy. Everything's good. There's no glaucoma, or, your eyes aren't going to pop out. And I'm like, well,
Well,
that's
that's
what
excellent
the
news.
doctor, the doctor didn't say that, but I was making jokes because it's a time for that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So,
Well, I suppose we should get on topic. So, we are, why are we having a podcast? Um, for one, it's fun. Um, on
right.
the other hand, so the subject we chose tonight was not we, I chose it and informed you.
Yes.
Next time I'll ask your
Mhm.
opinion.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So was
Quiet list.
basically
Sorry. Like, oh, I showed it to Ashley, and she goes, I'm
ooh.
going to open up some white wine for you, and good luck.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll just go down this little list of what I wrote. Men living with traumatized women,
Yes.
what's talked about and what's not,
Okay.
and how it affects my husband, um, all those things, how it affects your relationships, and then kind of how we came to even talk about such a thing. So, the point of that is I think a lot of people are talking about um, women's rights and the gender conversations and
Mm-hmm.
um, the way that women have been victimized by patriarchy,
Mm-hmm.
and um, all of those things are relevant, of course. Um, and on the other hand, I don't hear anybody talking about what happens to men when they're living with a woman who has been traumatized, who hasn't been able to deal with that trauma, um, like heal it. So, and all of that patriarchy stuff is most definitely generally the cause of the trauma that the woman has gone through.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're what we're going to discuss is how it affects the men because it's some I think it's overlooked. And that I think is one thing that perpetuates this whole cycle of mess is is the women not getting the chance to heal and being expected to be caretakers
Mm.
and being unable. to adequately be caretakers
Yep.
because they haven't been, uh because of all the stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good segue into you ready?
I'm ready.
um okay, let's talk about your early days after your birth from
Yeah.
what you heard.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I like how you went into that about um women undergoing trauma, and then how they're just inapt to, if that trauma isn't healed, how can they take care or be a caregiver? And that was, yeah, that's like the epitome of my mother. She at a very young age, I think 14, her own mother left. And this was what, this would have been back in the 60s. So moms usually didn't just leave then. And um, her father, which was my grandpa Hoff, Herman Hoff, actually, he's German, which I just recently come to learn. But
I knew nothing of this person.
yeah, I actually met
Interesting.
him once, and
What? Wow.
yeah, this was just along the whole cycle of visiting my mom. But so I was born after Ravon, our sister, and she was viewed differently. I think because my mom, having been abandoned by her own mother and having to take care of, because she was, I think, the oldest. So Susan was her sister, younger sister, and then maybe it was just the two of them. That's not real clear, but the fact is that they were left with their dad, Herman, and he, from what I understand, was verbally abusive. I don't know if alcohol was involved, but she was traumatized in the way that um, the mother role was dumped on her in her pubescence, and then so she helped raise her sister while dealing with, a not so nice father or supportive. And I think through all that, she had a disdain for men. I think she
Oh,
resented them because, she didn't have a strong role model, and she didn't have the mother figure at home. So it was a very dysfunctional situation.
I have a question.
Mm.
Sorry to interrupt, but I heard something about your mom's mom was like a full blood Cherokee Indian or something.
Yeah, and I've asked my dad about that, our dad, and he, I don't know. He was very vague, but he said, yeah, there was a lot of Cherokee in her, but none of that was ever really,
Confirmed.
yeah, or looked on. So
Okay.
just, it
And
was kind
there was something about like her mother was the way she punished her children was to sit on them.
of, oh,
Do you remember that?
yeah, so much, unfortunately, um, so much of that is vague because it was talked so little about. And then I lost a lot of my memory in like 2013 to, or no, sorry, 2007, 2006, due to an incident that maybe we can talk about later.
Oh, oh yes, yes.
because of that incident, a lot of pre-memory, in other words, pre my reality, had been pretty much gone. It's taken a long time to try to remember and bring a lot of that back, but a lot of that is just gone.
Oh, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of it is. So I don't really have that, but what I do understand is that um, eventually my mother got older and um, met our dad, and had Ravon was their first child, and then I was born, and being born a male, I think, just triggered her
Hmm.
and caused her to act in ways that no mother wants to act against her child. And it kind of segues back to what you said, is how could she be expected to um take care of male child when there was no either positive female role or male role. So she just, I think she went back to when she was 14 and all that stress dealing with her abusive dad. And so it was negative, and there was no there wasn't going to be a chance for her to heal ever. It's like
Yeah,
the damage was already done. I was born, and so her frustrations and her anger or bitterness were pretty much taken out on me, unfortunately. But
yeah,
um, fortunately, um, dad, and of course, this was before you were born, because obviously he remarried and married Trish, your mom. And so that's why we're half siblings, although I view you as a sister and none of that, because we have step and half. And but
yeah.
I
That
don't
stuff.
I don't see it like that. I just there's no to me there's no gray area there. It's just we are who we are. And but yeah, so a lot of what I experienced as far as her not being able to be healed, um kind of got the bitter end of that side of her.
Do
And
you want to go into any detail about what that looked like?
well, yeah, it was just a lot of abuse, um mostly physical. There was a lot of, because she was, when I would go visit her, she wasn't small. She was, a pretty big woman, but again, I was tiny. Um but yeah, if I wet the bed, I knew when I woke up and it was wet that I was going to get beat. It didn't matter if I told her or not, so I'd lie. And then lying about it, because at that time she had joined Glad Tidings Church, trying to find her way in Christ.
Ah,
Um, so she didn't like lying. So in other words, it was, yeah, there were a lot of instances of, just being grabbed by the hair and literally just thrown around a room. Um,
wow.
yeah, yeah, just walls, just, and I don't, for some reason I remember those, but I guess that's trauma for me, or at least it was trauma. Um, and that might be a whole different other thing of how I got over that. But nonetheless, it was she was abusive. She'd go in the bathroom and start combing my hair, and then she'd pick up a brush and start hitting me over the head and face as hard as she.
Wow.
Um, and I would try to get away, and eventually she would stop. I'd run into my room expecting more, and then some time would pass, and I would hear her in the bathroom with Ravon. So I slowly opened the door, and Ravon, she was privy to all this, which is something I wish I'd thought of earlier. But we all heal in our own ways.
Right.
But anyway, she would start combing my hair again, and she would ask me, "Do you think I'm a monster?" "I'm not a monster. Do you think I'm a monster?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're a fucking monster." What
What's
the
the right
hell?
answer? What
Yeah,
should I say? How do I avoid the next beating?
yeah. But even as an infant, um, you know, after I was born, she would Luann, my mother, would stay home with Ravon and I. Well, Dad, I think he was starting his janitorial business, but he would come home and there would just be black and blue marks all over my body, and um, eventually he just confronted her, and she said, "Well, he's colic. He won't stop crying." And back then it was just like, well, you don't beat the child because they're crying, just you know. So eventually he got a divorce. He had to go to court. He got protective custody over me, which I think saved my life.
Oh, I do think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but eventually I think she joined the church for material support,
Mm.
and as a way to maybe try to convince a court that, you know,
Oh,
she could see me again, which worked. First was visitation or supervised visitations. You remember this is all going on in the
I do
early
remember
80s.
taking you guys to Yuba City,
Oh, yeah.
and there were times when she said, "Just bring Ravon. I don't want Ty."
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is is that
Oh,
true?
I remember, and these are vivid memories. I would go there, and Ravon and her would play Monopoly, and I'd say, "Can I play?" And she'd look at me, and she would say, "You're to be seen and not heard. You need to go in your room. You need to disappear and be quiet. This is our time."
Oh my
Right to my face, and I remember that.
wow.
So, yeah, I mean, all the characteristics of almost creating like a serial killer or something. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wow. That's just horrendous. And then, I mean, there's more to this, isn't there?
um, well, I mean, at one point, when I got old enough. I think I was 7, and my dad said, if she lays another hand on you, and he gave me a business card, and he told me to put it in my pocket where she could not find it, hide it, and she, of course, did. I think I think at that time I was so terrified I started defecating the bed
Oh my
because
God.
I I just I don't know, 7 years
Yeah.
old, just afraid to go anywhere and move, and
To be seen. You were hiding.
yeah. So
If
I
you made
remember,
any noise or got up,
yeah,
then she might start beating you.
yeah, defecating the bed, and that's when she took it up a notch, and it wasn't just being thrown around. There were slaps, open palm, and it was a beating. It was hard. Um, and just remember it being very fast and fierce and quick and done. And I remember just she said, "You have to get your crap together," and she would clean up the sheets, and she said, "You need to take a shower." So she'd start the water. I cleaned up. I got dressed, and I remember she bought Ravon like a little boom box, and they were in Ravon's room, in Yuba City where we were staying, and they were messing around with that. and I hid, I think, the card in my shoe to Dad's number. So I called it, and I think I was just crying. I think I remember crying and saying, like, I'm, I pooped the bed, and she just did this. And within about 3 hours, we had all gotten dressed to go to her church. And my dad
I
and
think I was there that day. I
you
feel
would have
like I
been
was.
so tiny because you were
I
eight,
was, but I
6. So I would have
remember
been, maybe this happened when I was 9. Jesus.
I remember picking you up.
But we were he brought Steve Russell, who is a mostly incompetent blind elder. I don't know why he should have brought Richard Durr, but whatever.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. But anyways, they were there at the entrance, parked. And I think my dad got out and said, "You either give me the kids or I call the cops." And I just remember running, to my dad and just being grateful.
Yeah.
And Ravon, I think she was hesitant, but my dad was animate about calling the cops. He said, "I'm going to call the cops, and I'll have them come to because when he gets pissed, he gets mad."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was pissed. But so after that, that was pretty much, you know, I didn't see Luann again for, geez, up until maybe I was 14.
Mm.
And by that time I was older, I was bigger, and things had mellowed out. But
Well, by that time, yeah, so I wasn't there that day. I was, you know what I remember is by that time, had she had your brother Will?
yes, yeah, Will would have been about 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And she replaced me for him. And this was the last time I saw her, and she was just beating him upstairs.
Oh,
And I
really?
did I called my dad, called her dad, and said, "Hey, she's beaten our half brother, and you need to come get us. I can't be here, and I never want to see her again." And he said, "Should I call the cops?" And I said, "I don't know. I can't be here. Can you get here as soon as you can? Because I just can't do this."
Yeah,
And
and it's hours, right? It's 3 hours away.
and I think he dropped everything he was doing. He was there, I think, that evening. And again, he showed up, and he was,
Livid.
yeah, but calm. And I remember the door opening, and he said, "Ty, come here." Like, he just knocked. Luann answered, and he pushed the door open, looked at her, and he said, "Ty, come here." And I just walked right past her. And then again, Ravon was hesitant, but she knew. So
Yeah.
Ravon gave her a hug. And I remember Ravon saying, "Well, what about William?" And my dad said, "Well, either she's going to kill him, or I don't know, but I can't call the cops on her, on a kid that's not mine. And I didn't
Oh my
witness abuse.
gosh.
I can't do anything, but we're leaving now." And then I think as we were leaving, he said, "If you ever try to contact us again, I will call the cops." And I didn't see Luann until Keelika was born, which what, 20?
Yeah.
And then Jamie went with. See, I remember all like the trauma, just a lot of the fun stuff's gone. But
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
it wasn't a lot
totally.
of fun stuff. I don't know. But the point is
That's normal. That's the way our brain works.
yeah.
It's how we survive.
And so it ended then and there. And yeah, we went and visited her, and it was like visiting a stranger. Um, she was wheelchair bound, still with the church. I think somebody was there with the church. And then I remember Jamie looking at me, shaking her head like, I need to get out of here. I can't do this. And like she was holding Kaylika, and then I flipped out. I said, you can give me my daughter back. And then I looked at her and I said, goodbye. And that was the last.
Oh, Luann was holding
Mm-hmm.
Kalika?
And I walked,
Oh,
said, no, no. And I
yeah,
took her from her hands and said, goodbye. And we left her apartment, shut the door. William was probably, 12. He didn't know what was going on. But at that point, I had a family. I didn't have time to explain.
yeah,
And that was it. And then, when Ravon died, uh, that's when Dad told me that my mom died. So, not a lot
yeah.
of closure there in either case. But
No, yeah. Um, it's I didn't realize that William that she beat him too.
oh, yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay, wow. Um, yeah. So he has reached out recently, wanting
Yeah,
to,
you told me that.
yeah, get to know us. So we'll figure that out. Um, so that's a lot. Um,
Well,
let's go to Lucy, your experience with Grandma Lucy's
ah,
dad's mom.
gee, yeah, I forgot about it.
Sorry.
No,
Let's just do it all.
all
Let's
good
do it
things.
all.
All good things. Flushing the well, I mean, at this point, I've made closures in my life. I have peace. I have no animosity. And that will be a subject possibly for another time. But Lucy, um, yeah, she had a lot of mental issues. So obviously, the strain of parental DNA and imperfection and all that just kind of just streamlined through the one family member or another. But yeah, so the last time we visited Grandma Lucy, that I as an adolescent, she was reading a scripture for Vaughn and I, and we're stupid kids, we're giggling, not really taking her serious. She gave us
Oh, I didn't think she was a Bible person.
oh, huge, I still have her Bible in my,
Oh,
yeah, nightstand, marked. And
oh,
yep,
okay.
I don't know if I should get rid of that. Um,
Hmm.
but or why I kept it. But anyways,
Wow.
uh,
Okay.
yeah. So she's going along with scripture and going through the whole bit, and at some point everything turned, and she kicked us out of her house. Um, Literally, just said, "Get out."
How old were you?
I had to have been 15, so she would have been 17,
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Okay.
And
And your parents lived in Lake Tahoe,
yes,
and she lived in
Agoura Hills off of Mulholland,
Southern California.
SoCal.
Right. So there was nobody,
This was 8, 9 hours away, and
and it was what time of
oh,
day? Oh,
are you talking about
sorry.
a year or time of day?
Oh, okay. Sorry, you broke up there. It was
Oh,
evening though, right?
oh
Or
no, it was during the day.
oh, okay.
Yeah, like in the heat of the day. So she kicked us out.
Oh,
Um,
in the summertime.
yeah,
Yeah.
after giving us money, just it was all so warped. It's like grandmas don't treat the grandchildren like this. Like what the,
Right, right.
Um. So, anyways, what she failed to do was close the dog door because she had pets.
Okay.
So she kicked us out. I remember just sneaking back in through the dog door, getting oranges, water, stuff like that. Eventually, Earl came home. He got pissed seeing us out there. He said, "What's going on?" Earl, of course, was her son. Um, and he let us back in, and he got in her face, and you know, she asked for the money back. We gave her the money back, and then by the end of the visit, she gave us like twice as much back. And there's not a whole lot of memory there.
Yeah.
Just
Just gave you money to like get out of there and like go somewhere else,
no,
or
the money came before as a gift, and
oh, okay.
then came the scripture reading, and then we got kicked out.
Okay.
So, like I said, my memory isn't. It's just bits and pieces of what I can remember. But
Yeah. Yeah.
and I
Uh,
wasn't really close with Lucy because she was kind of a wacko anyway.
right. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like the stories that I heard, I was so young that I might have um, totally changed them. Not, just kids' imaginations. They
Yeah,
hear bits and pieces, they don't fully understand everything. And so she married Rod, which is our dad's dad,
right.
and um, just couldn't do that life, that routine, maybe. I don't know if you heard any
Yeah. Oh
differently.
yeah, she moved around a lot, and she always needed
Yeah.
change. She couldn't. Things couldn't be stable because, and I don't know her background because that's just.
Well, mom told me some stuff about molestation and stuff, but I don't
Uh,
know where she got that information. Um, and I don't know whether what's true about it. Um, yes, but she moved around a lot. And so she left him when dad was 4 years old, and for no real particular reason. Oh, he was in the Navy, so he was probably deployed and she got
mhm,
lonely.
yeah.
I think that was the story. And she just dated a bunch of different men and um I don't know, guess just wanted to have fun or do whatever she wanted. And dad was taken with her,
For
and
all of it.
yeah, and it wasn't always a good situation. And there may have been a really bad situation, but I don't know the details about that or how true that is, so I'm not gonna say any of that.
Yeah, that.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know much about that, so I don't know.
you did you hear it?
Well, yeah, and I would never bring it up to Dad because you
Yeah,
know if a scar is healed, cutting it open could just make it worse, and I just want him to pick up when I call him, so I don't need
yeah,
to, you know.
yeah. He doesn't do much of that, so that's already a thing. Um, yeah. So and I don't know. I mean, the rest of her family seemed really normal to me. Did they seem that way to you? Like, cause we would go to those family reunions in San Clemente at
Well,
Uncle Charlie's,
because you're around
and
normal people,
they seemed like really normal
they
people.
were. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uncle Charlie and Aunt Lynn were just. They were. They were the type of people who stayed married, had kids, created a good, stable home life, and then the kids learn that. The kids grow up, they get married, they try to create a stable family home life, and the cycle continues. And that's part of your notes is um, how the cycle repeats.
Hmm.
So I made sure that the cycle would not repeat with me. um, with my mother's trauma or with our grandma Lucy's trauma, that a cycle needed to be broken. Something
Yeah,
had to,
exactly.
and it so far has not repeated, and a new cycle has begun. And if a father is present in his daughter's life, like Luann was, my mother was robbed of that. Lucy was probably robbed of that, as many, as you brought up before, the patriarchs. And so the women, if they never get a chance to learn, then they just teach what they learn or act on what they learn. And the cycle continues from generation to generation. And I made it a point that with at least my daughters or any female I came in contact with, that they were to be treated with, respect, and especially with my girls, um, that they need their father in their life, even if their mother and it. My daughter's relationship with their mom is is not as strong as their relationship with me, and um, I don't.
Well, there's another example of someone who was left by her mother, right? Didn't her mother leave Jamie at a very young
Oh
age?
yeah, yeah. The mother of my children, sure. Well, no, actually, she died early. It was either an
Oh,
overdose or confusion of drugs, because she came from Vietnam, was brought back to the States with Jamie's dad, and you know, Jamie and her brother were born, beautiful children, and
but Vietnam had to been terror, total
well,
terror.
something happened, and Jamie's
Yeah.
mom no longer alive at a young age, so a stepmom took over, and the cycle started there.
Uh,
And
yeah.
it I don't see with Jamie it going anywhere, but
Yeah.
um, but I don't. If I focused on all of that, I could never focus on like what's important for the cycle that I can change.
Well, it's not about focusing on it. It's about acknowledging it, recognizing it,
Oh yeah, and I do.
seeing patterns of behavior and that's kind of how you healed from it. I mean, you saw it, right?
Oh, firsthand, yeah. And she was a good mother at the as long as she didn't have to work. She
Yeah.
was, and she's not an abusive, horrible alcoholic, you know, kind of mom.
Right, right.
Just like Acacia, um, my youngest daughter, she said, I think she's reached a point in her life where she just doesn't want to be a mom anymore.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, well,
I think that's something that happens to women who really have been traumatized and maybe just because motherhood is like an expectation that society has for us, doesn't mean that we all should be doing that.
oh,
I, I mean,
no,
I'm not like with my kids when I look at the way I have spoken to them at times. I'm like, really? Oh, come on. You can do better than that. And that's kind of what made me start looking at my behavior and why I'm doing these things and why do I behave that way? Why would I say that to my daughter? It's very interesting pattern that I've noticed. Um, the way that I talk to Charlie sometimes. It's because I just want her to survive. I want her to be a survivor. I want her to be strong. I want her to be able to handle stuff that comes at her because I'm afraid it will. And yet, I don't need to put all of that on her as a child, you
No,
know? And I don't do it to my son. So that's an interesting thing. It's funny because, a lot of the stuff that happened in my childhood that I perceive as negative was caused by dad. And
yeah,
yet I am more hard on my daughter than on my son.
yeah.
So there's an element there that I need to explore more. That it's, I know it's about her survival, and I know that I worry more about her than I do him. Uh, but I'm interested in finding out more of what that's all about.
Well, and I think that would be because I know in your notes you've got like my experience, my background, and I don't know. I think next week we should do yours.
Yeah, because I mean, yours, I don't think we could go into a whole nother right now. That, I
Well,
mean, that was, I mean, there's so much more to yours too that we haven't even talked about that you may not want to talk about, which is totally understandable.
yeah,
Um, like Ravon. So, like Ravon, for example, being brought up that way, she didn't have boys, she had two girls, but she also was like really mean to her girls,
yeah,
especially Cassidy, not so much Coral. Just really found Cassidy irritating. And I mean, there's definitely a factor where personality comes into play. Like my personality might jive better with James because he's just less, he'll just hang out by himself, and that's easier for me. And Charlie wants a lot of communication, a lot of attention, and
Mhm.
I don't love that. Like, I don't want to, it's not that I don't love that about her, but I don't want to hang out with people who are needy generally.
Yeah.
That's not my personality type.
Nope.
And so there's that challenge. But it's like, what do I need to develop in myself to parent this child? Like, why am I the parent of this child that so different that it's difficult for me to be kind and spend time with her? Like she she just wants me to acknowledge her and to be proud of her and spend time with her. And I'm like, I just want to teach her that she doesn't need all that and that she should just be proud of herself and acknowledge herself and not look outward for those things. So it's just, I don't know, it's very confusing. I don't know what that answer is.
Well, sometimes there is no answer. Sometimes there's just you just have to be patient and wait and like especially because you're about to hit the teenage years and
Yeah.
I did not handle the teenage years very well with my girls, probably especially Keelika. Um, but
I
I
didn't
handled
know
them.
that. Like, really?
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean,
I
there
don't
were times
remember that much
just
conflict.
disrespectful to Ashley, and it just, yeah. One night I lost my crap, and like we bought her this, I don't know, little armoire to hold clothes in and stuff, and I ended up breaking it with my arm and ended up having to go to the emergency room, and I threw it into a wall and had to patch it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, it wasn't, we make mistakes. I
Yeah.
even drove her to her mother's because, she was doing stuff. She brought a boy over to our house. And,
Oh, oh, okay. I'm remembering stuff now.
yeah, and that was,
Okay.
but all that, I mean, what, she's 24 now, so she was 17, that's 7 years ago, and now and that's the point, is
It
the
passes.
the past is the past. It's there, but what can you do now? At least for me as a father, and for you as a mom getting ready to raise teenage kids. Good luck
I mean, that's it. That's
with
it.
that.
That's what I'm nervous about. Like, I don't want to lose the relationship with them.
Oh, you will.
I
Yeah.
want us to have a strong
No,
relationship.
it won't.
And
They develop their own brains and they want to separate and they want to be independent in ways you never thought they wanted to be. And it just,
I
there's
mean,
no book on.
Charlie's been that way her whole life,
Hmm?
so I don't think there will be anything that surprises me, but she still, right now, knows that her safety is here.
But
She
yeah,
she talks a lot of talk, but she doesn't really want to go anywhere else.
yeah,
And I'm hoping it stays that way, but I have my doubts. I don't want her to be like I was as a teenager. That's what I'm very concerned about. And I don't think she will be. I don't think she'll be anywhere near that. So
well,
I
that
guess,
has a lot to do with Kevin and you. Like, if dad's a part of her life, and which he is, I mean, he's coaching, he's
yeah.
like, he's there, and you and him may be somewhat distant, but um as long as the father is there for his daughter. And I don't know how it goes with this. I mean, my dad was there for me, so I guess that helped me, but I had a different kind of dad and different relationship. But
Yeah, dad was weird with us, but he was part, he was there.
no, the
It's not like
stuff,
he was gone.
no, the stuff he, mm,
He wasn't good with girls.
nope, nope.
We'll talk about that on the next
Yeah,
episode.
probably because
But
he resented his mother and he took it out on you.
totally, probably.
My mother resented men because of her father, and then, but that's where the cycle needs.
I guess that's what our subject is. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to talk about only men abusing women because that's not the only thing that happens. It goes both ways.
Oh
And
no, I live that,
yeah, so
and yeah.
that's what the point was of tonight.
So I think, like, the last question you have, and I think this would be a good way to land the plane, but um, the last question you posed was how it affects my current and past relationships.
Yes, yes.
And I, my past relationships is with my mother, and this is without therapy, but, or any type of help. Just did it in my own head, and I don't know if that's healthy or right or wrong, but I came to the realization that I forgave her, and I knew that
How how did you forgive her? How did you
because
come to
she never wanted to do that. It wasn't, I never got to know my mother. I never got to know Luann. And maybe in another time or another world or another universe or whatever, but that was not the mother I was supposed to connect with, because she had been so traumatized that what mother wants to do that to her children?
Yeah,
None.
I don't think
Unless she
any
was a
do.
psychopath, which I don't know. Maybe she
I
was.
mean, there are a few, but
Yeah.
they
But
are usually it's the same thing, but just to a higher degree.
yeah. And I came to the conclusion that if I can if I can tell myself, not convince myself, but tell myself, like, true forgiveness is, you have to look at the root cause of all your pain. And I
Hmm.
remember this was I think it was in the last James Bond movie, but his nemesis, which happened to be his half brother, which was crazy, but he said, "I'm the author of all your pain."
Oh,
And
oh,
when I thought about that, it was like, okay, so so
yeah.
the pain is coming from, all the anger and issues I've had and probably will continue to have my whole life. But where it began with was the author, was the writer, and that was the woman who bore me into the world, and came to the conclusion it wasn't her fault. And to this day, I just, if anything, I'm a little pissed at dad, because I think I would have liked to seen her even if she was on her deathbed, and I would have forgiven her. I would have said all those things that happened when I was young and
Mm,
how we're not close like a mother and son should be. That wasn't your fault. I would have given either her the way out or just spoke my mind and said, that wasn't you. You were you were you were kind of robbed of motherhood because of stuff that happened to you. So everything you did to me, that wasn't you, the real you. And maybe I was robbed of ever being able to experience that. But regardless, I made peace with it. And to this day, it's like, I still, I mean, I pray, and occasionally I'll still pray, like, I forgive her, because it just, I need, I can't have this in my head. And I finally just got rid of it, which is weird, but
no, it's not weird.
I
It's
did. And
amazing.
yeah, it's just so,
And you also ended up being an excellent father.
we once, well, there's a lot of reasons for that too. I mean, I had a lot of support when I went through a divorce. So I had you, Jill, Dave, Kevin. I had the moral support of a family, but that didn't necessarily mean I didn't need to overcome past traumas.
Oh,
But
for sure you did.
yeah, but, and
Because
that's where
some
the
parents,
cycle
go
that's where
ahead.
the cycle ends. It doesn't repeat.
Yeah. Yes, because you recognize that I don't want to be that parent. I want to be a new
Well,
parent, a
yeah,
better
it's not
parent.
only that, but I want to carry the toxicity of previous trauma with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to put on a 80-pound backpack every day before I go to work. It's like, I'm good. There's enough workload in life with enough trauma on my back as it is, and just stuff I have to deal with. But why not lessen that and take the elephant off my back? And then whatever little traumas, because there's always going to be little traumas there, and I can throw a camel back on
Yeah.
trauma in it, and I can handle that. I can do that. I can get through another day with that. But, and I don't know how other people are going to do it. I don't know how you'll get through it, how Jill does it. Um, Brother, I don't know. But all I know is the better off I am, the better off I am for my wife, and the better off I am for my girls. And that's a new cycle. That is a new cycle that starts in a good direction, in a positive, healthy direction, instead of adding on all this past stuff and bringing it with me and pointing fingers and all that. So it's like really
Absolutely.
closing up a wound.
Yes, cleaning it out and then closing it up.
Yeah. And I don't know how. I really don't. It's a weird thing, but I don't think about it anymore. I used to make
I think
jokes.
it's a desire to live.
Maybe, yeah, or just I don't know. I caught myself kind of making fun of the situation where, well, yeah, well, your mom didn't drag you by the hair and throw you into sheetrock over and over again and put your head in a tile.
Well,
Yeah,
comedy is one of your talents,
right.
and that
But
is very common for people who have been through really traumatic events.
but since I've forgiven her and I made peace with that, I haven't said those things, and
Yeah,
I don't have a desire to say them ever again. Like,
isn't that interesting?
let her rest in peace so I can live in peace.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's some good stuff, Dana. Jesus.
Sure is. Well
Oh,
done. Thank you for getting through that.
well, yeah. I mean,
I think
well,
it's really helpful for people though, because many people have not been through something quite like that, and they've been through maybe other things, or and it just helps you be like, whoa, put things in perspective and be like, okay, I can get through this.
yeah, and it's the problem is, and the unfortunate thing is that it happened at such a young age,
Right.
at such an age where you're retaining so much,
Yes.
and the
You're
she was doing physically, she had no idea of what it would do emotionally and psychologically down the road.
yes.
So I had to confront that and go back to the source. And
Yes.
when I went back to the source and said, no, that's not how it was supposed to be. Now I could be in denial or whatever, but that doesn't matter. It what matters is that I'm at peace with it and it's done. And I used to cry about this, and I used to, with Ashley, it would just break down if I saw any type of trauma on TV. I couldn't handle it. But now it's like, well, I I kind of don't feel that anymore because that's in the past.
Yeah.
And I need to be a better person now so I can be a better person to others in my present.
Exactly.
I think next week
Well,
is going to be interesting with yours.
yeah, yeah, we'll see. I think that's a good note to end on, though.
Yeah,
Um,
a positive note.
absolutely. And thank you for that was brave.
Well, yeah, I didn't think we'd honestly go into that because looking at your notes as I'm doing now, like none of that mentions.
Well, I mean, that's what I was envisioning, but
Yeah,
maybe I was
but
being
obviously I did my
deceptive.
and I did look at it. I never want you to think that you can't send me an outline of what we're going to talk about and I'm not going to look at it because I will, because I do appreciate these podcasts. I think they're fun.
I
Well,
do too. A
Maybe
lot.
they're not always fun,
Well,
but
this was hard. This was a hard one, and I really wasn't looking forward to it, honestly, today. Because I was like, oh my God, it's going to be so emotionally draining.
yeah.
But I really feel like it was healing and it was clarifying.
Hmm.
And I loved what you said.
Yeah, and if these podcasts either don't help you grow or you're not growing as a person based on your experiences, then I think you need to take a step back.
They're kind of pointless.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
because,
yeah,
you know, it's, you've got to be able to bring up negative things. And then if you've, yeah,
yeah,
if you haven't turned something into a positive for you and yours and just proceeding forward, then what's the point of talking about it? Otherwise, we're just Fox News and NPR, and we're just, spinning negative things
right.
endlessly to, you know, create further frustrations in our lives.
Yeah, it's just mindless entertainment at
And
that
there's
point.
probably things I will never talk about to other people about stuff that I experienced
Yeah, for sure.
and never want to. But um, I think just having the chance to explore and go over and then see how the cycle ends. We don't want it repeating. We don't have to become our parents. Not that they were bad parents, but we just want to do better.
Yeah, and I think that all of us siblings are like unanimously um, stoic on that point. We want our kids to have a whole totally different experience than what we had.
Or at least try.
And yet we are products of what we lived. And so
Yeah.
we're like trying with the skill set that is just what our parents demonstrated to us. So it's very interesting. We're working really hard at it. I think we're doing a really good job. Um, and I think that they probably did a really good job compared to what their parents did.
Oh God.
Um,
Yes.
yeah. So I hope that every generation is getting better. And uh, our kids are not going to know nearly the kind of things that we experienced. Just, and sometimes it's endlessly frustrating because it's like, you are so ungrateful and spoiled. Like, you don't even know. But I also don't want you to know. And I'm purposely doing that. So I shouldn't be angry at you for that.
I think generational gaps are there on purpose, and
Yeah,
that gap gives us a time to reflect on how we can do better from the previous gap, or at least learn from it.
that makes a lot of sense.
All right.
Okay. Well, that was great.
I think it was. I liked it.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. I love you.
I love you too.
Sleep well.
Oh yeah, you end it, huh?
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
get used to that. Okay. Next week, you're on the hot,
Next week.
but you're gonna have to ask your own questions.
Okay.
No, no, but we'll get through it. It'll be good.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll be good. Love you,
And
Nina.
then we'll have Jill on. No,
Yes, and we should do brother too. He
I we should do all of them.
Yes,
Oh,
and at
really?
one point we could just do a cluster cuss and have all four of us. That'll
Oh, that would be
be bad.
so funny.
Too many voices talking over each other. We got to keep the white wine away from sister. Oh lordy, brother's on the wagon. He's stable. He's good to go. He can be fired up.
Yeah.
Gonna be a lot of language, but that's okay.
Lots of language.
Yeah, this is
That makes it more fun.
this is like G-rated compared to what's coming.
Exactly.
All right, I
All
love
right.
you.
I love you too.
Tell James and Charlie and Kevin I love them.
All right. Tell your girls too.
I will,
And Ashley.
of course.
Okay. Bye.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.